If you also think GLaDOS is an amazing villain, then you've come to the right place. GLaDOS, the testing maniac who wants nothing more than to see you suffer at the hands of her tests. But you know what I want more than anything? You to subscribe. So you should do that. Anyway, GLaDOS, the apathetic AI scientist. She has gone down in video game history as one of the best villains of all time, with her extremely charming personality.
Oh good. My slow clap processor made it into this thing. So we have that.
And her killer singing.
You're someone else's problem. Now I only want you gone.
And also, she has gone down as one of my personal favorites of all time. I mean, look at this. And this. I really like Portal. But if you haven't watched any of my previous episodes of why Blank is an amazing villain, I will be ranking GLaDOS in 3 different categories: connection to hero, backstory/reasoning for villainy, and presence. Before we start, I want to make it clear that these are my opinions and not facts, obviously. So let's get started. So GLaDOS has a pretty good connection to Hero. After GLaDOS goes online, she pretty much makes everyone in the Aperture Science facility run through her tests, but eventually, too many people die and the only person left is you, Shell. You're the last test subject, at least the last organic one. I know that this seems kinda simple, but the way it's used is really good. Where GLaDOS hates Shell, but also needs her to fill her need of testing, so it's an overall entertaining connection, which is why I'm giving it an 8.9. I just think it's a very entertaining relationship between GLaDOS and Shell. GLaDOS, or Carolyn, was once someone who worked for Cave Johnson, the creator of Aperture Science, and she definitely had a close relationship with him, as Cave Johnson made the request himself that if he didn't make it to the testing stages of spilling his brain into a computer, to put Carolyn in instead. And so that's what happened. Cave Johnson passed away and they turned Carolyn into an AI. So after that, Carolyn became GLaDOS, the genetic life form and disk operating system. And as said earlier, she made everyone in the facility test after going absolutely bonkers. And everyone died, leaving her alone with Shell and some personality cores. But the big thing is her reason for villainy is pretty close to that of a drug addict, actually. She talks multiple times about how she gets an itch that won't get scratched until she tests. So she literally is just doing as she's programmed. Which is why we see Wheatley become the exact same as GLaDOS whenever he becomes the one in control. Which is why I'm rating her a 9.6 on this. I think it's a very good backstory and a great reason for villainy. So GLaDOS has a high presence because quite literally she is the facility. There are even some spots you can sneak into that are blind spots for her, and you see writing from Ratman in there, the main protagonist in the comics if you haven't read those, with sleeping bags and everything in them because blind spots are that hard to find. But GLaDOS is literally watching your every move. She talks to you all the time through the speakers and critiques your every action, and she very obviously and bluntly has really good presence in every sense of the word. So, I'm going to rate her a 9.5, because quite literally, GLaDOS is everything. Also, I want to take a moment to say that this is one of my favorite games of all time. It is so unbelievably charming, and I love it. I recommend to any of you watching this that you honestly give it like a rewatch on YouTube or replay it yourself, because having revisited the game for this video made me remember how like truly amazing it is, because every character is just so good, everything about it is just really well made. So, I just want to take a second to say that. Hey, if you enjoyed that, you should subscribe, if this is your first video from us. More of these are definitely on the way if you liked them. If you have a request, put it in the comments for a villain. And yeah, next week it should be finally, something that isn't an amazing villain. So, it'll be a different video, I say. and I think you guys will really like it. So yeah, it's been an honor, and I'll see you guys later.
All right, we're good now. That's it.